Hello, hello, hello. It's your new day with Donna Reiners and Dr. Cami Owen, where we solve all the world's problems, or maybe just one, and maybe it's yours. In our 30 minutes, we talk about your emotions and mind and how they tie into your body and spirit. We want you to renew and restore yourself in a world that wants you crazy. And sometimes we even talk about money. Introducing your hosts, Donna Reiners and Dr. Cami Owen. Well, we're really excited because we are going to talk about positive affirmations. And we're not talking about just words, yay, 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 but how to reframe or change your internal belief system. So I wrote some things down. I'm just going to read them to you so that I don't go off on a tangent, because you know I love to do that. How does positive affirmation change the atmosphere in a body? Do you realize your physical body has an atmosphere? Like you walk into a room and there's an atmosphere. You walk into an office, there's an atmosphere. You can even go outside and there's an atmosphere, right? Well, your internal body has an atmosphere. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially. There's an atmosphere. So when you can have a positive intention, a positive affirmation, a positive direction, even if it's little steps at a time, you can transform your internal belief system. It will alter what I realize now is known as the terrain of your body, which is like your cells and the physical part inside of you. As you practice affirmations and positive beliefs about yourself, you can even unearth fresh capabilities about you and learn new things, and you can reshape how you respond to you and how others respond to you. And I would love, Dr. Cami, if you could give us some thoughts and ideas on how to do that. What are some of the services and that kind of thing? Here you go.
Well,
you want that? You can.
Yes, I'll give a little more background because I think it's required to. There's so much out there about, positivity and, saying the words and, I did my affirmations today and nothing happened, and so it's all just, junk and garbage, or The Secret, if you just believe it, it'll come, or if you build it, they will come, all those kind of things. And there's some truth to these things, but there's pieces missing out of it to have a complete understanding. So when we talk about, I want to give a little more context of where I come from so that we can have that conversation with the same terminology. I know through quantum physics that there's 5 bodies inside of our physical body. If you think of it like a computer, the outside is the hardware, and then inside you have what's called the vital body, and that is the energy system running through your body. And that's not your neurological system. That's not what I'm talking about. This is different. This is the circuitry running through your body. So in the computer analogy, it's that computer has to be plugged into the wall or have a battery, or it doesn't come on. Okay? So we have that circuitry running through us. We have 5, we have more than this, but in the physical body, we'll talk about the top 5 power centers, and you can call them chakras, you can call them power centers, you can call them whatever you want, but think of them like a breaker box. There's 5 breaker boxes, and in your home you have a breaker box that maybe goes to the kitchen as GFI, and something flips it off, and then you have one that goes to the bathroom and the bedroom, and then you have that one that if you plug the hair dryer and the vacuum cleaner at the same time, it trips the breaker. It's not high enough. So we have that center. What's amazing to me is each of those centers has at least one gland that's associated with it and 2 organs. One is a hollow organ and one is a solid organ. And if you look at them together, they make a perfect Tesla capacitor.
Wow.
Also, you also have, going to that same circuitry, certain muscles that are attached to those. Those are our rechargeable batteries. This is why getting up and moving and actually contracting your muscles are so important, because that is actually how that system recharges. And they're in Chinese medicine, they talk about the time of day that happens and everything. But you can, with the change in the circadian rhythms, how much light we have, all kind of things that we have changed with technology. Getting up and moving is a quick way to do that. So we have that part of us that's called the vital body. Then the next level up is the mental body. So think of that as our operating system. Is this a DOS or is this a Mac based program, operating system? But it's your mind, and it's how you think. And we are the only species that can think and then observe that we're thinking, and then actually observe that thought and make a new thought. Okay, that's in the mental body. And then we have this super mental body, which is all of our belief systems, everything that's programmed into our DNA. So that comes from the actual physical DNA that came from all your lineage. So the whole left side of your body is mom's DNA, the whole right side of your body is dad's DNA, and then you have the whole lineage, forwards and backwards of that entire ancestry. And then you also have all of the programming that comes in from school, from religion, from mom and dad, from your environment, from the little cell phones that just are programming everyone. So all of those are
and the national news.
All of it.
Okay.
Mainstream media, all that is at the super mental body, programming your DNA that tells what is expressed, what's not expressed. And then above that is your bliss body, and that is your direct connection to our divine intelligence, God, source, whatever word you use for it. It's God. That's my word for it. It's God. And it's the God in every single little cell that has that divine intelligence in it. Doesn't need to be told what to do. When you cut your finger, you don't go, man, I need to get busy healing that. No, that divine intelligence just gets busy doing it. Now, can we do things to help that along? Yeah, we can keep it clean, keep it out of the dirt. Can we do things to make that process not click along as it should? Yeah, we go dig out in the dirt and get dirt in it and keep picking at it. There's lots of things we can do to hamper that divine intelligence. So with that context of being able to understand that healing in the physical body only happens from the top down. So the higher up the rungs of the ladder, and we could call this levels of consciousness, but it's more than that. Above, the higher you go, the more complete the healing. Like you've heard of somebody just spontaneously, cancer goes away. A total remission. One day they have cancer, next day they don't. That is a healing at the super mental body level, where whatever conflict was there actually is resolved. And you have to think of it more like a computer printout. So if I'm typing in certain things and I hit print, it's going to print what's being typed. So what we're talking about is change what you're typing so that it'll print something else, because your body literally will manifest. It's behind it because we still have to travel through space and time, but energetically you're healed, and then you have to kind of catch up in space and time. So in my clinic, that's a big focus to support the body while we're actually healing it, because if you're only doing things at the physical level, you're not going to heal anything. You're just turning the volume down on whatever's going on, especially a physical complaint. So not only do we want to support the physical body, but we also want to be healing it. If you're not healing it, then you're really not doing much. So inside of the positive instructions we're giving to the body, when you say a word or a thought, or you say it out loud, you're actually giving that frequency now. That frequency is now going to communicate at a very real quantum healing physics, regular Newtonian physics level to your cells to tell them what we're oscillating at and how we're going to behave. So when you say, I don't know if the audience is familiar with Dr. Emoto, but he was a Japanese scientist that would take water, just out of tap water, and bless the water with beautiful words. And sometimes he didn't say it, he would just put them on the water because there's a frequency to those signals.
Yes.
The letters in a certain sequence has its own frequency, own resonance. And then he would take the drops of that water and freeze it, and it would make beautiful crystals. Then he would also take the same exact water and put "you were ugly," dirt,
yes,
blah, something, and it would be disorganized. You couldn't even see a crystal in that. Same exact water, same exact everything, except for the intention set and the words actually said to this water. What are we 80% of? We're 80% water. So when you say, "I am ugly," all the crystalline structures in your body that have water in them are now disorganized.
They carry the "I am ugly."
They carry the "I am ugly," and they oscillate at the "I am ugly" frequency.
Wow.
Then, when you're oscillating at that frequency, think of it like a radio station. You have just turned on, "I am playing heavy metal today, and I only can hear heavy metal." It's amazing when you get, I know you've had those days where you just are not feeling it, feeling yourself, and then people go, "What's wrong with you?" And, "Man, you really made me mad today." Like that's what comes into your field over and over and over. And then you can be in a bad mood and then go, "You know what? Cancel clear this. I choose to be happy and have a happy day today." And you could flip it in that same moment. And then all of a sudden, your world around you starts actually playing back to you in kind because you said, "I don't want to hear heavy metal today. I'm going to switch to smooth jazz. And we're going to have smooth jazz
Unless
today."
you like heavy metal. If heavy metal makes you happy, it might be just opposite. Keep going.
Well, I will.
Well,
we will have an argument about that.
You're right. The resonance.
We will have an argument about that. But we would have a chat about why heavy metal resonates with you because it's a lower oscillating. Not that it's bad. It's just a lower oscillating frequency that prevents you from oscillating at a higher frequency. That's all that is. It's not bad or good. It's just it's
different vibration.
It's a lid.
Okay.
It's a lid. So, and some days I am very much hearing heavy metal and it's fine, but just knowing that that quick you can choose something different.
Yeah.
So when we actually start saying words that are positive, these positive words, "I love you," "I love me," "I am love," those kind of things, it actually starts recrystallizing the water in your body. And I'm oversimplifying this, so I don't need to.
Oh, I love it. That's beautiful. Beautiful visual.
And it's actually literally changing who you are and who you are being in that moment, which is all we really actually have is this moment. So when that water starts doing its thing, then we actually start creating new pathways in the brain because when we are depressed and we're sad and we're just and life sucks and everything, chemicals are released from your brain that are aligned with those thoughts, those neurotransmitters that really love that. And then those pathways get really strong. They get very tight and
yes.
very so
ditches in your own brain.
Yes, and then when you start having all these chemicals released, the body wants more of that because it's a very astute biofeedback. So it wants more of those chemicals because that's what we're doing. We're being depressed and we're being sad. I need more chemicals to stay depressed and sad. So you keep doing that over and over and over. And I know you've met somebody that just seems like they're addicted to sadness.
Right.
Just addicted to it. Literally, it's true. Your brain is actually dependent, chemically dependent on having those neurotransmitters. So then when you start changing your way of thinking that you're really sad, but as we talked about in a previous show, I'm going to move that foot and I'm just going to kick that and I'm just going to get up and I'm going to just walk to the mailbox today. That's what I'm going to do. Well, that actually starts creating new pathways in the brain and setting new chemicals. Now, these other chemicals might start beating these chemicals up, but you have to just give it more strength.
Keep choosing.
Keep choosing that. And then these will start getting stronger. These, "I love my life is awesome," will get stronger. And these pathways will start breaking down. And because it really is a use it or lose it in your brain. The things you use the most will be stronger. The things you stop using or don't use as much will be less.
Like our
and less.
memory.
Yes, less and less and less. So when you say words, don't just say the words, feel them in your body. Feel the energy of the words. And that's really what's required to make an actual physical change in the 3D world and energetically. What you're saying is to actually connect your body with the words. And the way you do that is with the feelings of actually feeling the words, feeling every single word when you say it. So looking in the mirror and saying, I am beautiful, and feeling every single word, what you're doing is tapping into, that's when you're co-creating with divinity, the divine, is when you actually are in your body, feeling the words and saying them out loud. And you're like, well, Cammie, I did that one time and it didn't work. It's very much like the gym. I can't go into the gym, pick up one dumbbell, do like this, and go, yeah, my arms still look like that. No, it's something consistently that you have to do, because you
Discipline.
have trillions of cells that have already been programmed with the other programming.
That's right.
They haven't got the memo yet, even though it was instantaneous, but it's way down in the email thread. Way, you know, they have to get
right.
up to read that email. So they that is part of having to do it over and over and over. And we talked about discipline in a previous show, that is one of the reasons that discipline is required, because you have so many cells that haven't gotten the memo that this is what we're doing, because they're still alive, and that's still the programming that's in there. So we're reprogramming new cells, and the old cells are having to die off, and then as that turn goes, you will see it's amazing to watch it happen, and watch it happen in someone. It's amazing to see their world change right before your eyes. It's awesome.
She just talked about what some would refer to as the renewal of the mind. When you can renew your mind, give it a new idea, give it a new thought, you can give it a new direction, and that new direction paves a different pathway until this pathway over here is no longer in existence, because you've stopped walking on it.
Yes.
You've stopped digging it, and eventually it gets filled with the goodness that you're sending in, until that's no longer there, and then you're in this new direction. And maybe you're afraid of a new direction. You know, I understand that. I understand what it's like to be fearful of a new friend, fearful of a new business opportunity, fearful of eating differently, right? Fearful of a new bread. Come on. I mean, seriously, I've switched from whole wheat to millet. Who does that? But I love it. So, but who would have known that? Because it doesn't irritate me. It's not irritating my body. My terrain loves it, right? But I would have never known that had I not thought to attempt to use something different. I know that sounds like a silly thing in comparison to what she's talking about, but the renewal of our mind is one little step at a time. It doesn't always happen overnight, although it can happen overnight. We've heard of people that have just changed their lives, their world overnight. I've been on the slow road.
Sorry.
She's renewing her mind right now.
Reclaiming my authority.
That's
This is real life. This is real life. Can I get you something?
Wonder what that is.
I don't know, but I'd love to assign some kind of meaning to it for
Well,
you.
something is something that
I was talking about
is
eating.
at a resonance,
Mhm.
and as I higher oscillate, that would not stay in resonance. It had to come out.
Millet bread.
Yeah.
So let's say you're attempting to change your life in some way, and you don't even know where to start. Start with something that's real simple. I started with millet bread, which I look at it and go, oh, Donna. But you know what? It really helped me in a number of things that were happening in my terrain, happening in my body. It helped me in ways I never knew. Number one, millet doesn't have gluten in it. And for me, that's important in this season of my life. It may not be important forever, but it's important right now. And I'm renewing my mind in what I think is important. I'm eating vegetables right now. Well, I'm from Texas. I like my steak. but I'm mostly eating vegetables right now. And I'm eating the same vegetables almost every single day, like twice a day. It's crazy. I'm going to turn into a red onion and a zucchini. I'm sure any day I'm going to wake up and be that vegetable, But the results of it in my body are very positive. So I'm renewing my mind, not in what I'm eating. I'm renewing my mind in what I think about what I'm eating. That it's okay that I eat vegetables. That it's okay that I get something nutritious in my body. I don't have to just eat these foods all the time.
That's right.
I'm changing the way I think about food. And in doing so, I'm also changing the way I think about me. These are little things, but they're important things.
Yes. I will tell you a funny story. In our family, several years ago, everybody was wanting to go on a diet and lose weight and all this stuff. So we decided that at Thanksgiving, after Thanksgiving, everybody decided, okay, we're going to have this pot. Everybody's going to put some money in the pot. And then by the time it's Christmas, around Christmas time, everybody's going to send their weight in every day and all this stuff. And everybody can choose however they want to eat, because there was this big debate over vegan, over carnivore, over low carb, over high protein, all of those things. And everybody had an opinion on what the right diet was. And I said, I'm going to do the intention diet. And they're like, what the heck's the intention diet? And I said, I believe personally this is where the intention for prayer and blessing your food comes from. But when I sit to eat anything, and people that know me and know I do have a wellness clinic and all this, and they see some of the things I eat, they're like, how are you eating this? I said, because I set an intention before I eat it, and then I can eat anything I want. Mm-hmm. So I set the intention diet, and basically what that was whenever I eat any food, and I do this every day, I eat any food, I bless the hell out of it. Basically, I set the intention that my body is going to love everything that's good for me and serves my body, my terrain, and it's going to discard with love everything that does not serve my body and terrain. Mm-hmm. And then I do that before I eat or drink anything. And I do it silently. I don't make a big grand production out of it. But that's what I do, and I have this standard intention. That's what I set. So I was just eating whatever I wanted. My husband was, I think he was at that time on the high protein, low carb bandwagon. It's fluid with him. So he was on this, and he's like, you're not gonna do well. I said, I'll do fine. So we go through the whole thing. It was, I think, 2.5, 3 months, something like. Guess who won? Intention diet girl. I lost 30-something pounds.
Oh my goodness!
And I did not change my diet one bit. I did not change what went into my body. I set the intention, transmuted that energy. That's a whole nother level we'll get to. But transmuted the energy in that food, and I was able to eat whatever I want. So we are that powerful beings, people.
So I can turn that baby Ruth into a carrot.
Absolutely you can.
Oh man.
You can.
Be awesome.
You absolutely can. But the belief, take it to the next level, the belief that baby Ruth is the problem. It's not. It's the belief that baby Ruth is the problem. That's the problem. Like, I know that's like, you're crazy. What are you talking about? But that's really how it works. Like at the absolute quantum level, that's how it works.
So the cellular level is filled with our belief system.
Before the cellular level. Before it even becomes matter. Because that's where the instructions are. The instructions are in what's called a morphogenetic field around every cell. So again, in the computer analogy, you have this computer and it has all the stuff. It's got the circuitry, you got it plugged into the wall, everything. What programs are running on the computer? The same thing with your cells. You can have you have a physical cell, but there's actually an energetic field around it called a morphogenetic field that is informed by the DNA coding in your DNA, but that's the morphogenetic field. That is the instructions of the cell. That is before one little iota of matter is created. So the cell is actually getting its instructions from this morphogenetic field. That's where I'm talking about working in that because when you're at the physical, putting it in the body, and I don't want anybody to get the idea that if you're not that level of intention that you can go drink poison and be fine, no, you can't. Probably not going to happen because you don't have that level of intention.
Especially if you do that on purpose, that's just intention is dumb anyway.
It is. That is a dumb intention. But and we're being all kind of judgy here. But
oh yeah, don't do that.
But don't do anything to harm yourself.
No.
But I'm saying we're talking in possibilities and how the world and the universe and the cosmos actually work. That's how they actually work. Now, I'm sure that I can have lots of, people argue this point with me, and love that. I'll debate that any day. But just hold the possibility that a teeny tiny bit of what I'm saying is actually possible, and then go inward and see if there's any truth to the energy in my words here. And then see what comes up. But it's pretty awesome. We are awesome, amazing beings, and deciding and choosing that every day that you're an awesome, amazing being.
That's your assignment.
Is your assignment for the week.
And you can go to NEWDAYMAEWITH. Oh, in other words, newdaywithdonnamay.com. And you can get information on how you can stay in contact with us, and we can help you become a new you. I'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining Your New Day with Donna Reiners and Dr. Cammie Owen. We look forward to seeing you next time. Remember, we solve all the world's problems, or maybe just one, and maybe it's yours. Until soon.